All right, good morning, guys. This, me?
Yep.
Depends on where we're leading to. Yes, isn't he? $1.50. 52 and a half, 50, we get 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 5, 55, 55, 57, 57, going to be 62 and a half, 5, and 7 and a half, 70, 170, 172 and a half, 75, and 75 here, 75, 35, and 75, 77, 75, going to be 77 and 9, and 77, 81, 81, 81, 81, 81, here, going to be 2, and half 3, 83, 34, 84, 5, here, going to be 85, 86, going to be 87, 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 Cabinets Bull, 186. Feet and Bull here, $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 5, and 70, 75, now 80, half high, going to be 85 and 95, and 95, 95, 95, $2, and 25, and 205, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 205, and 205, and half high, 85, 85, 85, McGee, $2, 5X. Yeah, $1.50. 55, 60, and Patton has it about 70, 172 and a half, 72 and a half, 75, 77 and a half, 77 and a half, going to be 80, bit of 80, going to be 82 and a half, going to be 81, 81, 81, 82, and hand 2 there, 3, and hand 3, going to be 4th here, going to be 85 here, going to be 600, going to be 87, 87, 87, 87, 88 here, going to be 9, going to be 89, going to be 9, and 90 here, going to be 91, and 90, 91, 92, going to get 92, 93, and 93, going to get 93, going to get 93, going to get 93, going to get 92, 93, Cabinets Bull, 192. Yes, sir. 52 and a half. 52 and a half. Bit of a 9. Going to be 2 and 5. And 55, 57 and a half. Going to be 60. Going to get 2 and a half. 5. And 65, 7 and a half. 7 and a half. 70. Going to get 72 and a half. 75. And 75 here. 73, 75, 73, 75, 77, 77, 75, 79. And high 80. And high. Going to be 81. Going to be 82. Going to be 81. $2, 3 there. Going to be 83 and a 4 there. Going to be 84. 83 and a half. 4 there. Going to be 83. Going to get $4. Going to be 83. Going to get $4. Cabinets. 183. Boo. X. $1. 50. 5, 60, 5, 70, and 580, 85 and 90, we get 95, we get $95 here, going to be $1.05, going to be 105, going to be 105, 10, and $100, 10, going to be 15, and 20, and 21, 21, 20 here, going to be 125 here, 125, and 25 here, going to be 25, 5 here, going to be 25 here, so 120, S, 1X. You write him down. Do you? 35, yeah, 35, 37, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 47, 47, 50, 50, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 5, and 55, 57, 57, going to be 60, now 60, going to be 60, going to be 60, going to be 60, so 57 and a half, Cabinets 3. Yes, sir. 25, 27, 50, and half, 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 35, 37 and 37, 40, 40, 42 and a half, 41, 3, and 41, 3, 41, 3, 41, 43, 5 here, 45, 47, 47, now 7, 9, 47, going to be $9, 45, going to 50, and now 50, $1.50, then 1, and 50, 51, now 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, here, going to be 151, now 1, here, going to be 1, here, going to be 1, here, Booker, 150, nothing. 125, 25, 27, 27, 25, 27, 27, 27, 30, 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 5, and 35, 37, 37, going to be 40, 40, 40, and 2 and a half, 42, 50, and 42 and a half, 5, and 45, 45 here, 43, 45 here, 45, 47, 47, 45, going to be 7, and 49, and 9, 50, and 49, 50, 1, 51, 2, 51, 2, 53, 53, 54, and 54 here, 54, 53, $4, 53, 4 here, Taylor, 153, grade 10. Them your boys, Thor? All right. Five and 6 years old, little turnout cows, $1.20. 125 and 25, 30, 35, 35, 40, 145, 40, you get 45 here, 45, 2 and a half, 5, and 45, 45, 45 and a 5 here, 45, you get 45, you get 43, 5, and 47, and 45, going to be 7 here, 45, going to be 7 high, you get 47, and 9, 47, going to be 9, you get 9 here, going to be 9, you get 9, so 147, Kevin is 3. 125, 27 and a half, 27 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and 30, 32 and a half, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 40, 142 and a half, 1, 3, and 45, and 43, 47, 47, you get 7, 9, 149, going to be $9, 47, going to be $9, 47, tire out, 49, and 47, going to be $9, you get 9 here, going to be $9, you get 9 here, so 147, Booker. Grande. 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 35, 37, 37, 40, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 45, you get 5 here, 45, now 5, and 47, 50, and 40, 7 of hand, going to be 40, 7 of hand, going to be 40, what about 645, going to be 645, going to be 6, so 145, Chris, 9X. 120, 20, we get 250, and 25, and 25, 27, and 30, we get 30, and 30 here, going to be 30, 30, here, going to be 30, 30, here, going to be $28, and 27, and going to be 28, 28, 29, we get 9, going to be 30, we get 31, 32, 31, 23, and 34, we get 34, you get 34, and 33, 35, and 35, 36, 35, going to be 6, 7, 7, 7, we get 38, 37, $8, 9, and 10, 9, bit of 40, 40, 141, and 40, 41, we get 41, going to be 43, we get 41, going to be 40, that one here, Chris, 140 on 10. 35, and 35, and 35, 35, 37, and 35, 37, and 37, and 37, and 37, and 40, we get 41, and 43, we get 42, 43, 44, 44, you get 4 up here, 5, and 46, and 6, 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, 6, 7, and 7, and 7, and 46, 7, $8, and 47, and 7, and 9, we get 9, and 50, we get 51, and 51, 2, 51, 2, 51, 3, 53, 54, 3, 54, here, 55, and 55, 6, 55, going to be 6, 7, and 57, we get 50, hey, 50, hey, 50, hey, 9, we get 9, 50, hey, going to be $9, going to be $9, going to be 9, hey, we get 9 here to Taylor, 158. 9. 125, 25, 7, and 25, going to be 7, 9, we get 9, we get 31, 33, 35, 37, 37, 9, we get 39, we get 41, 3, 41, 2, 3, 43, 4, and 44, 5, and 45, 6, 46, 7, 7, 7, 7, 46, 7, and 46, 7, 7, 7, here, going to be 7, 7, here, going to be 7, 7, here, going to be 7 here, Booker, 146.
5 months.
How old? 5-year-old or 3 to 5 months? 2,000, 2,100, 2,100, here, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2,100, here, going to be 2,100, here, going to be 2,100, here, going to be 15, 16, and 1,500, and 15 and a half, 16, 17, going to be 18, going to be 19, going to be 19, 50, and 2, and 2,000, going to be 2,000, going to get 2,000, 20, 50, and 20, 50 and a half, here, 1, and 2,100, here, 21, 21, 21, here, pull you out, 2,100, and 2,100, going to be 2,100, here, going to be 2,100, here, going to be 2,100, going to be 2,100, so it'll be 2,050, Gardner. 11. William here, 35. Yeah, 35, 37, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 43, 42 and a 3, and 42 and a half, 3, 42 and a half, 3, 2 and a half, 3, 3, 4, and 44 and a 5, and 46 here, 45, going to be 645, going to be 607, and 47, 46, 7, and 46, 7, and 7, 7 here, going to be 7, 7 here, going to be 7 here, Chris, 146 on number 9X.
Push it, push it, push it, push it.
About 15 or 16 of these cows. Here's a Jim Leitner cows. All these cows cows are bred to Simmental bulls. What Jason told me, I believe. Is that right? Huh? Semi-Angus. Semi-Angus bulls. Here we go. 2,000, 2,100, 2,100, and 21, and 20, and 21, 21, 21, 22, and 2, and 3, and 23, going to be 2, 3, going to be 23, 300, going to be 2,300, and 4, and 2,400, 23, and 4, 3, going to be 23, 4, 3, going to be 23, and 400, 23, and 4, and 2,300, 4, and 2,400, 2,400, going to be 24, going to be 24, going to be 20. If she didn't have that calf, bring 3,000. You guys know that? 2,400. 2,400. Chris 8, 2,300. It's a big word.
Now you got the ones coming behind. You got to get 3,000.
Yeah, we'll find out, won't we? Leitner cows, guys. Right there in the prime of their life, 5 years old. They're 8 months, 8 months bred. 2,000 and 2,100, 24 and 20 and 21, 21, 21, 2, 3, and 22, 3, and 23, 4, going to be 23, 50, and 23, 50, and 20, 3 and a half, 4, and 24 and a half, 24 and a half, 25, 55 and a half, 5 and a half, 625 and a half, going to be 605 and a half, going to be 2,600, and 25 and a half, going to be 600, and 26 and a half, and 27, and 27, and 7, and 7, and 7 and a half, and 27 and a half, going to be 800, 2800, 2800, 2808, and 27, 5800, and 2800, going to be 2800, going to be 2800, online, going to be 2800, and 2,800, bit of an 8 here, you're going to be 2,800, bit of 8 here, you're going to be 2,800, and 2,800, you're going to be 2,800, 8.5, 28.5, 9, 29 tray, you're out tray, 2,900, and 2,900, bit of 9, and 2,900, you're going to be 900, bit of 900, bit of 900, bit of 900, going to be 2,900, going to be 28.5, 9, Chris, 28.5, 3. Six years old or 5 months. Both of them, guys, 2,000 and 2,100, 21, and 21, and 21, 21, 21, 2, and 2, 2, 3, and 23, 3, 50, and 23, and I have a lot of going to be 20, 3, and 4, and 24, 24, 24, 24, 24, and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 5, and 2,500, and 20, 550, and 25, and 25, 50, and 20, 5 and a half, going to be 20, 5 and a half, going to be 25, and a half, going to be 20, 550, and 25 and a half here, going to be 25 and a half, going to be 20, 550 here, Gardner, 2,511. 7 and 8 year olds. They're 7 and 8 months, guys. They're bred to semi-Angus bulls. Heavy, heavy, heavy bread. Gonna have you Easter, baby. A couple weeks. Yep. Yep, 2,000, good bags, good cows, and general 2,000, going to be 2,100, and 21, yeah, 21, 21, 21, going to be 2, going to be 2, going to be 50, and 3, and 23, 23, hand to hand, 23, 50, and 20, going to get 3 and a hand, going to be 20, going to get 3 and a hand, going to be 4, and 24 and a hand, 24 and a hand, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, going to be 25, yacht trade, 2,500, and 24 and a half, 5, and 25, 50, and 5 and a hand, going to be 600, and 25 and a hand, going to be 600 here, 25 and a hand, going to be 6 shadow line, 2,600, and 25 and a hand, going to be 2,600 and a half, and 26 and a half, 26.50. Yes, 6 and a half here, 26 and a half, bit of a half here, going to be 26 and a half. Sold them online, 2,600 trade cook. Open cows here, 35, and 35, and 37 and 37 40, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 47 and a half, 50, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, what about 1, 51, and 52, and 51, 2, 51, 2, 51, 2, 51, 2, and hand, 2, 3, 53, 53 and 4, 3, 53, 4, and 54, 3, 54, 54, 53, 4, 53, 4, 53, 4, dollar and a half, 3, 4, Chris, 153, 3X. Thank you, Jim. Dollar. 110, and 110, could be 110, could be 110, could be 110, could be 110, but of a 10, 10, 10, 10, could be 110, could be 110, but of a 10, 20, and 20, we get 30, 40, and $40, 50, and $40, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50, and 40, 50 there, could be 140, we get 50 there, could be 40, we get 50, and 40, 50 here, so 140, S. Straight. She lose about 1,500. Heavy bred cows, guys, right there. Here's some good bred heifers, guys. 5 to 7 months. 2,000, 2,100, 21, 20, 21, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2,100 here, 2,150, and 21 and a half, going to be 21 and a half here, now 2, and 2 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, 3, and 22 and a half, 23, 23 and a half, 23, 54 half, and 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 5, and 2,500, and 20, going to get 500, going to be 25.50, and 25 and a half, going to be 25 and a half, going to be 25.50, and 25 and a half, 5 and a half, 5 and a half, going to be 25 and a half, going to be 25 and a half, going to be 25.50, sold them 2,500. McGee. Twos and open, $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, now 70, 75, 75, 75, 80, 185, there, going to be 85, 85, and 90, going to get 90, going to be 90, going to 90, 85, 90, 85, and 90, 85, and 90, there, going to be 90, going to get 90, going to be 90, going to be 90, going to be 90, going to be 90, 190, going to be 85, going to get 90, sold, 185, S, 11X. What'd that one pair bring? 2,400? 23. Cost $600. $600 for having that calf.
Looky there, John. Raise you a show calf.
Yep. 25, yeah, 25, 25, 27, 27, we get 32 and a half, 35, 37, 37, 40, we get 42 and a half, 42, 55, and 45, 47, 50, and 40, we get 7 and a half, going to be 40, we get 7 and a half, going to be 47, 50, and 47, 7 and a half here, 47 and a half here, sold 145, Kevin is 3. $25, and 25, and 25, 25, 47, 50, and 27, and a half, and 30, we get 32 and a half, 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, and 37, and 43, going to be 140, we get 41, 42, and 44, and 45 here, 45, 6, 146, 7 here, now 7, 7, 7, 6, 7, and 47, hey there, 47, $8, and 47, 9, we get 9, and 40 here, going to be 9, 140, hey there, going to be $9, we get 9 here, going to be 9 here, going to be 9 here, we get 9, Chris, 148, 16. I'll go, guys. $10, 110, you 10, 12 and a hand, 50, 17 and a hand, 22 and a hand, 25, 27, 50, and hand, 30, we get 32 and a hand, 35 here, 35, 37, 50 and a half, 40, you get 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 5, and 45 here, 45, 45, 45, you get 5 here, 45, you get 5, 45, 45, 45, Booker, 142 and a half, 11. Threes and fours. $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 55, and 55 here, 55, 2.5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, gray, 52 and a half, 9. X. Pin them with the nines. Yeah, gray 9X. Is it 9X? Yeah. Pin them with the nines. No? 35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, going to be 37, 40, 40, that one, and 41, 2, 42, 43, 44 here, 40, 45 here, 45, 6 here, 47, and 47, 40 here, going to be $8, 47, going to be $8, and 47, 7, going to give $8, 47, going to be $8 now, 8 here, cabinets, 147, 3. Hey, back on the families. 2,000, 20, 100, and 21, and 20, and 21, 21, 21, 22, and 2,200, and 20 with a hand, 20 with a hand, 20 with a hand, 20 with a half here, going to be 21, 50, and 21 and a half, going to be 21 and a half here, 21, 50 and a half, and 21 and a half, 21 and a half, 21 and a half, going to be 21 and a half here, going to be 1,500, 16, that's 17, going to be half, 18, now 19, 19, Trey, you're out, 1,900, 1,900, 19, now 2, 2,001, 21 and a half, 21.50, now 2, 2,200, and 22, going to be 2 Trey, and 2,200, going to be 20, now 200, going to be 2,200, Trey, yeah, 2,200, and 22, now 2, now 2, going to be 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 2, now 2, so 21 and a half, MW. Look at the size of that calf, 5 and 6-year-old, 4 and 5-year-old. 4 and a 5-year-old calves right there, here, big calves, that side, 20, 100, and 21.50, and 21.50, and 21 and a half here, 1 half and a half and a half here, and a half, and 21 and a half, going to be 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, going to get 3.50, and 23 and a half, 23 and a half, 24 here, 24, 24, 24 and a half, 24 and a half, 25, and 25.50, now 6, and 25 and a half, going to be 6.50, and 26 and a half, 7, and 7 and 7 and 7 and a half, and 27 and a half here, half and a half here, got half, and 27.50, got Trey, 27.50, and 20, 7 and a half, going to be 27 and a half, going to be 27, 800, 2,800, big calves, 2,800, 2,800, now half, 28 and a half, 28.50, and 28 and a half here, 20 and a half, Trey, you're at 28.50, and 28 and a half, a 9, 2,900, and 2,900, going to be 20, 900, going to be 20, 900, sold them 28 and a half, Trey Cook. Old cow, she's 5 months. It's not our tag. Somebody swap her. $1. Oh, well, I'm just being truthful. $0.50 a pound. 60 cents a pound. 70, 80, 85, 90, 90 cents a pound. Probably figured out who she was real quick, didn't we? 90, 85, now 90, 95, $1.05. 10, 110, Ricardo, 105. Banking on that $2,300 man. $2,700 pair next week. Oh my goodness gracious! Get her out of here. Penny a pound. 2 pennies a pound. S, 1 penny a pound, 1X. waste a bullet.
So is that $8.55?
Yeah. $8.55. Way more than that. I'll have to send him a bill. It's no, he didn't tell me he wanted those cows. All we talked about was cripples this morning. That's all we talked. $1.50. 55, and 55, and 55, 55, 55, 60, and 5, and 6, 70, 75, and 75, 80, there you're going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 75, 85, 85, there you're going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, going to be 85, going to be 85, going to be 85, here's sort of 180, Gibbon Bull. You think we'll have what's one sale Wednesday? Think we'll sell calves and everything on Wednesday?
Surely. I don't know.
8 and a 10-year-old. 2,000, 2,100.
They might be. Go ahead.
2,000, 2,100. Bull kids, that side, 2,100, and 2,150, and 2,100, going to be 2, going to get 50, going to get 3, going to get 50, going to get 4 and a half, 4 and a half, 2,500, 55 and a half, 600, and 6 and a half, 7, and 2,700 and a half, and 2,750, and 2,700 and a half, and 2,750, and 27 and a half here, Yaddle line, 27 and a half, and 27 and a half here, half here, going to be 27 and a half, going to be 27, going to be half, Chris, 2,700, 17. $120 and 22 and a half and 22 and a half here 120 bit 2 and a half group 20 bit 2 and a half group 20 bit 2 and a half 122 and a half 5 and 25 750 and 30 bit 30 group 32 and a half 35 here 35 37 of that 37 of that. We're getting pretty good along without the baby coming in. Ten-year-old with a baby got. She got a good little bag, good looking calf too. 2,100. 2,100. Yeah, 21 and 20 and 21, 21, 20 and a half and 21 and a half. Going to be 21 and a half here and a half here. 21.50 and 21 and a half. Going to be 21 and a half. 21 and a half. 21 and a half here. Going to be 21.50. Now 2. Now 2. Now half. Now 3. Now half. 23 and a half. 4 and 24 and a half. 5 and 2,500 and 2,500. 25. 25. 2,500. 25. 25. 25. 25. McGee. 24 and a half. Put that on 10. How old? 7-year-old, guys. 2,000. 2,100, 21, 20, 21, 21, 21, 2,100 here, and 2,100, 15, 16, 50, 16, 15, and a half here, half here, 16, have 17, have 18, have 19, have 2, and 2,001, and 22, 22, 3, and 23, 3, 4, and 24, 23, 4, 23, 2,400, 23 and a half, 4, and 24 and a half, and 20, 4 and a half, 20, 4 and a half, 24 and a half, 24 and a half, and 24 and a half. I got Trey at 2,400. Everybody else is out. 24 and a half, 24 and a half, and 24 and a half here, have and a half here, 24 and a half, 24 and a half, going to be 24, going to be half. Sold a pair, 2,400, Trey Cook. 5-year-old pairs here, 2,100 and 21. I don't know. Who are we working on? Okay. Sell cows. 125. Pairs are sure bringing pretty good money, though. 125 on the cows. 125, 27.50 and 27 and a half, 7.50 and 20.57. Going to be 20.57. Going to be 20.57. Going to be 27 and a half. Here going to be 27 now. 30 and 32 and a half. 32 and a half. Going to get 2 and a half. Going to get 2 and a half. 5 and 35. 37.50 and 30.57. Going to be 30.57. Going to be 37 and a half. Here going to be 37 and a half. Here so 135. Chris 3x on the 2 cows. 4x. $500, sell choice. 550 and 555 and 600 and 7 7 7 7 7 9 10 going to be 10 11 you 10 11 12 12 and 13 we get 13 we get 13 we get 13 we get 13 going to be 13 Derek you're out 1300 and 12 and 13 and 12 and 13 and 12 and 13 we get 13 you're online you're out 1300 and 12 and 13 we get 13 we get 13 14 we get 14 we get 14 we get 14 going to be 13 we get 1400 and 1400 and 14 and 14 we get 14 we get 14 we get 14 going to be 100 I sold about 1300 online. That'll be Derek Moore. 22. You want them both, Derek, or? Probably worth the same. Both. Thank you, Derek.
Trey Cook says, can you put the bread cows by themselves?
Yeah, we'll try to work on that, Trey. I'm just seeing your message. I'm sorry. Sell the cow. Daughter. 105, sell the cow, 105, at $105, we get 5, we get 5 and 10, good 10 and 15, and 20, 125, 25 and 30, we get 35, 35, 40, 145, 45, 50, 155. How is she young? Okay, still 55, 65, 70, 170, 170 on the cow, 165, 70. Sold 165, Chris, 3X. I missed her by 5 years.
Laughing at?
Bokev. $3. 3.5. Yeah, 3.5. Bit of 5. 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 305. 10. Bit of 10 and 15. Bit of 20 and 325. 25 and 30. Bit of 335. Bit of 335. 40. 345. 345. 50 and 355. 60 and 355. 60 and 365 and 65 and 65. 65. 65. 65. Bit of 5. 365 and 65. 5 here. 5 here. 5. Bit of 5. Bit of 5 here. Derek. 360. No, by the weight. 22. 102. 102. Sell the cows. $1. $5 and $105 here. Good to be 105. Good to get 5. Good to get 5 and 10. Good to be 110 and 10. 12 and 9, 10. 12 and 15. 17 and a half. 17 and a half. 17 50. 17 and a half. 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 Good to be 17 and a half. Good to be 17 and a half. Good to be 17. Good to be half here. S 115 9. Yep. $1.15 S9.
Take them back right now.
Two little heifer calves, 300 apiece. 350, and 350, even get 4.5, 500, 530, even get 555, 600, and 600 and a half, and 6.5 here, Koya, 650, yes, 6.5 here, 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, Derek, yeah, 750, and 7.5, gonna be 750, gonna be 750, gonna be 750, yes, 7.5 here, yes, sir, 750, yes, 7.5 here, half here, bit of a half here, gonna be 750 here, Derek, 700. $22, Derek. Yeah. Gotcha. Put them on 11, pin with the 22s. He's got 5 head. He's got 3 different numbers. That's about right. 1,300. Yep. Five to 8 months. 5 to 8 months, guys, right there. Here, 2,000, 2,100, and 21, and 2,100 here, 21, 50, and 21 and a half, going to be 21 and a half here, 21 and a half here, 21, 50, and 21, 50, and 2, and 2,200, and 21 and a half, going to be 2,200 here, 1 and a half, going to be 2,200, and 20, going to be 200, going to be 2,200, going to be 2,200, going to be 2, 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 McGee, 21 and a half. I think we put the breads on straight. Five and 7. 5 and 7 years, guys. Get pairs here. 2,100 and 21 and 2,150. You 21 and a half here. 2. Going to be 2. We get 50. We get 3. We get 50. We get 400. 24 and a half. 24 and a half. 25 and 25 50 and 25 and a half. Going to be 2,600 and 25 and a half. Going to be 6 and a half. Going to be 27 and 7 and 750 and 27 and a half here. Half and a half here. Half and 27 and a half here. Tray out 2750 and 27 and a half. Now he and 2,800 and a half. 8 and a half here. 8 and a half. And 28 and a half here, 8 and a half, bit of a half here, going to be 28.50 online, going to be 28.50. You 28 and a half here, half and a half here, you got 28 and a half here, bit of a half here, going to be 28 and a half. Sold them 2,800, done. 11. Hey, congratulations, by the way, on that Angus deer. I ain't got a chance to see you since then. Awesome. Huh? I bet. Who?
The shed crew.
I know. If she'd have held on for 2 more days, she'd have made $600 more. $5. $105 and $105 here. Good to 105, good to 10, good to 110 and 15 and have 15 and 15 and 15 and 15. You get 15, 20, 120. Now 5, 125. You get 30. Now 35, 35, 40, 145, 145, 50, 5, 60, 5, 170. 170 and 70 here. Going to be 70, 70 here. Going to be 70. Going to get 70 here. Antone 165. You got a rodeo coming up. Maybe. Oh. Nine-year-old, 5 months bred. $1. $5 and $105, 10 and 10, 15 and 20 and 5, 25 and 30 and 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 5 and 35, 37 and 40, $1, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 42 and a half, 5 and 45 here, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 7, 50, 47 and a half, going to be 47 and a half, going to be 47, 50, and now 50, now 5, now 60, 165, 165, Paul, you're out, 165, 70, 175, 80, 180, 75, going to be 180. Sold 175, McGee. 125 and 125 and 25, 27, 50 and 27 about 30, 32 and a half, 35, 35, 37 about 37 40, 42 and a half, 41, 41, 41, you get 41, 42, 41, 2, 3 and 44, 5, 600 and 47, $8 and 47, 7, 9, 9, 48, 9, 9, 9, here, group 9, here, group 9, cabinets 3, 148. $65, plain old 65, plain old 65, 70, and 70 cents a pound, and 70, 75, 75, 80, there, you're going to be 85, 85, 90, you're going to get 95, 95, $95, $1 here, $1 there, you're going to be $1 here, you're going to be $1, you're going to be $1, you're going to be $1, you're going to be $1 here, S95, 1X. $120. 122 and a half, 5, and 27 and a half, 30, 2 and a half, 5, and 35, 37 and 37, 40, 40, 40, 40, there, you're going to be 140, and 37 and a half, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, cabinets, 137.50. Got some kind of a bump on her left side. Don't know what it is. Got a little sticker in there. I think 125. 125, yeah, 25, 25, 25, 25, 10, 110, 12 and a half, going to be 110, 12 and a half, going to be $1, 2 and a half, 102 and a half, 102 and a half, 102 and a half, going to get 2 and a half, going to get 5, going to be 110, 110, 15, 110, 15, 20, 25, 20 and a half, 5, 20 and a half, 5, and 25, 25 here, 120, going to give out Chris, 120, 14. 3 and open. $1. $5 and $105 here. You're going to be 105, going to get 5, going to get 5, going to get 5 and 10, going to be 110, 20, 20, 30, going to get 30, 110, 20, 30, and 30, 30, 30, going to get 30, 40, and 50, $1.50, 60, you're going to be 170, you're going to be 170, 80, you're going to be 180, 90, and 90, good 90 there, you're going to be 90, 90 there, you're going to get 90, going to be 80, you're going to get 90, Chris, 180, 3X, 4X. $35, yeah, 35, 37, 37, 40, and 40, 40, going to get 2 and a half, 45, 45, 45, you get 5 here, 7 and a half, 47, 6, 7, and 47, going to get 10, 9, going to get 9, going to get 50, and you get 50, and 45, 50, 50, going to get 50, going to get 50, 50, 45, going to get 50, here, Booker, 149, nothing.
Not many. I think they're unclose. They forgot the hot shot. Can't hardly get them to the toe without a hot shot.
She got a blue eye, $1. 110 and 110 here, good 110, 20 and 10, 20, mid 20, we get 30 in the 5, 35 and 40, 140 in the 40, 40, 40, you get 40 up here, 35, 40 in the 5, 145, 145, 145 and 45 and 45, 5 here, 145, we get 5, 45, we get 5, 145, 5 here, Chris, 140, 4X. $10 years and 3 months. 120. 125. You get 25, 125, 27, 30, we get 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 33, 55, and 35, 37, and 37, 40, 140, you get 40, 140, 40, 40, 40, we get 40, and 40, 40, 40, we get 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 40, McGee, 137 and a half. $1. 105 and 105 here, go to 105, we get 5 here, 5, we get 5, we get 10, go to 110 and 15, 20 and 21, 25, 25, 25, now 5, you 25 here, 5 here, 25 here, sold 120S, 1X. $25, 25, 27, 50, and 75, we get 30, now 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 35, 35, 37, now 37, going to be 37, going to be 140, we get 40, we get 40, we get 40, going to be 40, we get 40, now 1. Now 1, 141, and 40, 45, we get 41, $1, 41 here, Cavernous, 140 on 3. $9 years and 5 months. 125, 25, 125, we get 35, 35, 40, 140, 145, we get 45, we get 50, $1.55, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, now 60, 155, 60, and 55, 60, there, 5, going to be 60, here, 5, and 65, 70, we get 70, 170, 170, 170, par out, 170, and 70, there, 170, 170, Chris, 165, 16. 9 years and 7 months on this cow. Make sure you lock your bag. $1. 110, 20. 120, we get 35, 40. 145, we get 50. Now 5. Now 60. 165. 165. 165. 60 now. 5 here. 5, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5, we get 5. Here, McGee. 160.
You went from 1 to 160 pretty quickly.
Yeah, just like selling show pigs.
Only difference.
How'd you go from 500 to 10,000 in 2 y'alls? Very easily. 2-year-old guy, $1.50. 55, yeah, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, 70, 170, 5, and 75, 80, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, Krishad, 85, 85 here, 90, and 90 here, 190, 90, 90, 90, 90 here, Chris, 185, 7X. 7 years, 7 months, who get 1,500? 15 and a half. She's what? She is. She's a little hoppy, little ouchy. $1. 110. Yeah, 10. Here. 110. Going to be 110. Going to be 110. Going to be 110. 110. 20. 30. 40. 50. Anything in between? 60. 70. 170. 170. Now 80. 180. 180. You're out on line. 170, 180, 170, bid 80, and 70, 80, 80, going to be 80, sold, 170, Garner 10. 2 and open, 3 and open, $1. 110 and 110 and 10, 20 and 25, 25 and 30, 30, 5, 40, 5, 45, 45 there, 45, 50 and 50 and 45, 50 there, 45, 50, 10, 45, 50 here. Cavis 145 nothing. Three years and 7 months. Good cow. 1,500. 15 and a half, 15 and a half here, 16, 17, 17, 17, 17 and a half, 18, 1800, 1800 here, half, 18 and a half, 19, 19, 19 and a half, and 19 and a half, 2,000, 21, 21, 21, 21, 2, and 21, 23, and 23, 3, and 23, 3, 23, 3, and half 3, and half 4, and 2,400, par out, 23, 4, and 23, 400, 2,400 here, 2,400, par out, 2,400, and 23, 4 there, 23, 400. Going to be 23, to give award trade 2,300. Cook. 2 years and she's empty inside. $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60. Yes, 60 here, 5. And 65, and 65, 60 and 5. And $65, 5 here, 5, now 70, 5. And 75 here, 75, 80, 5, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, group of 85, group of 85, group of 85 here. Sold 180, Chris, 7X. Daughter, 105, and 105 here, 105, 85, 85, 85, 10, going to be 110, and 15, and 20, and 21, 21, 20, bit 20, there, going to be 120, bit 20, there, going to be 115, 20, and 20, there, going to be 20, bit 20, there, going to be 120, bit 20 here, Cavis, 115, nothing. Cody's kind of getting loud out there, isn't he? Sounds like everybody's mad. Three years old. $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55 here, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, 70, 70, 5, and 75, 80 there, going to be 180, 180, 107, 85, 85 there, going to be 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, going to be 85, bit of a 5, going to be 85, S, 180, 11X. $8 years, 3 months, $1. $5 and $100, $5. Going to be 110, going to be 110, going to be 15, 20, and 25, 125, 30, 35, 35, 35, 32 and a half, 35 here, 35 here, 35, 35, 37, 50, and now 40, and 42 and a half, 5, and 45, 750, and 40, 7 of hand, going to be 40, 7 of hand, going to be 47 of hand, now 50, and now 50, 50, 50, 50 here, 52 and a half, and 52 and a half, you're out, Paul, 52, 50, and 52 and a half here, 5, and 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 7 and a half, 57 of hand, 57 of out again, 57 of hand, 60, and now 65, 70, and now 70, 70, 70, 70 here, McGee, 165 McGee. $35, and 35, 37 about 40, and 40, 2 and a half, 45, 47 about half, 50, 50, 50, 2 and a half, 52 and a half, 52, 50, and 52 and a half here, 5, and 55, 57 about 57 about, going to be 60, 60, 160, and 60 here, 8, 9, 58, now 9, going to be 9, 9 gray, 158, 10. Won by 7, 2,000. 2100, 2100, 2100, 21, 21, 21, 2, we get 3, got 2, 3, and 23, 4, and 23, 400, 23, we get 400, going to be 23, and 400, and 2400, and 23, we get 400, going to be 23, we got Paul, 2400, and 2400, going to be 23, we get 4, 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 going to be 23, we get 4. Ricardo, 2300. 125, and 25, and 27.50, and 20, 57, going to be 20, 57, going to be 32 and a half, 32 and a half, 35, 35 here, 35 here, 35, Giga 750, and 39, 7 and a half, 36, 7, and 37, halfway, we get 30 here, going to be 9, 9, 40, we get 41, and 40, 41, we get 41, 41, 41, we get 41, we get 41, we get 41, we get 41 here, Cavis, 140. Cab straight. $1 pound, $5, and $105 here. You're going to be 105, you're going to be 10, you're going to be 110, and 15, and 21, 21, 22 and a half, 22 and a half, 25, 25, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 30, and 30 down 2 and a half, you're going to get 2 and a half, you're going to be 31, and 33, and 31, 33, you're going to get 31, you're going to get 33, you're going to get 31, you're going to get 33, 31, 33, you're going to get 33. Chris, 131, 13. $50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 57, 57, 60, 160, 62 and a half, 2 and 5, and 65, and 65, 65, 65, 65, 65, 165, and 60 and a half, 5 here, $5, $5, here, $5, $5, here, $5 here, Cavis, 162 and a half, boo. What's in them humps? Fat, gristle? You eat that hump, Antonio?
That's pretty good.
Is it good? No good?
It's good.
It is good?
It's only one. You don't see very many.
No.
I think there are at least 20 even to make it work. One.
$50. 55, 55, 57, 57, 57, going to be 60, we get 2 and a half, and 2 and a half, we get 2 and a half, 5, and 65, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 67 and a half, 6, 7, and 6, 7, and 7, $8 now, hey there, 9, we get $9, going to be $9, we get 9 here, going to be 8, but 9, and now 70, we get 79 here, 70, now 70, you get 70, and 70, we get 73, we get 70, we get 70, going to be 70, yes, 169.6. $55, 55, 57, 50, and 57, about 60, and 2 and a half, we get 2 and 5, and 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 7 and a half, 70, we get 72 and a half, 72 and a half, 5, and 75, 750, and 77 and a half, 77, and now 80, and now 80 there, 82 and a half, and 2 and a half, going to be 82 and a half, what about 1, 81, $81 here, 81, 81, 81, 81, 81 here, going to be 81 here, Cabinet Bull, 180. $55, 55, 57, going to be 62 and a half, 65, 65, 65, 65, 7 and a half, now 70, we get 70, now 70, 172 and a half, 72 and a half, 5, and 75 here, 75, 75, 75, 75, 5, and now 5 here, 75, 75, we get 5 here, sold, 72 and a half, Cabinet Bull.
52.96.
Cabinet Bull.
That new shoe thing gonna be able to get. We gotta get them up there.
Tags.
They're all gonna be rubbed off.
He had one on there. It just
They're too low.
they like it. They like it.
Put them on their front, I guess.
Head. They like it.
Well, no. Like, that's the first tub WW's ever made.
What did they do with the old ones? Scrap.
Cody, what are you waiting on? Better hurry. You got a meeting at noon. Dang it.
75, yeah, 75, 75, 75, 75, group 80, and 75, group 80 central pounds, 75, group 80, 75, group 80, 80 central pounds, 75, group 80, group 80, 80, 75, group 80 here, 75, group 80, 5, 85, and 100, get 95, and another here, another $1, $2 and a half, get 2 and a half, 5, 105, 750, and hand 10, group 110, 12 and a half, group 10, 12 and a half, 15, 7, 10 and a half, 20 here, 122 and a half, 5, and 27, 50, now 30, and 32 and a half, 32, 50, and 32 and a half, get 32 and a half, group 32 and a half, cabinets, 130.
See if you can flip that tag over, Antonio.
135, yeah, 35, and 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 35, 40, and 35, 40, and 35, 40, 40, 40, and 5, and 45, 45, 42 and a half, 42, 50, and 42 and a half here, half here, 42 and a half here, 42, 50, 42 and a half, John, you bid 42, going to be half, sold 140, cabinets, Bull X.
Just grab it, Antonio.
Yes, that's life made capable.
65, and 65, and 65, 65, 70, and now 70, 70, and 5, and 75, 85, group 85, 90, 95, 95, 95, $1, $2 and a half, group 100, 2 and a half, group 5, and 10, group 105, 19, group 105, group 110, group 10, group 110, now 15, 115, 20, 120, 120, pull you out, 120, and 20 by 20 there, group 120, group 120, group 20, and 5, 125, 125, 125, group 5, sold, 120 McGee, 120 McGee. Posted. Structurally incorrect. 50. 55, 55, now 55, 55, 55, 60, we get 5, now 65, 70, now 80, group 80, we get 90, now $1, group 100, $1, $1, here, what about 95, 95, 95, and $95, $1, now 5, 105, 110, 110, 15, 115, 20, and 25, and 25 here, group 125, group 125, group 125 here, so 120, S1X. 125, yeah, 27 and a half here, 27.50, and 20, 75, group 20, 75, group 27 and a half here, group 27.50 and a half, and 27 and a half here, cabinets 125, cabinets 125. Cabinets 125. Two-year-old guys, $1.50. 55, yeah, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 59, 65, 70, 70, 5, and 75, 80, 80, 175, 80, and 75, group 80, 75, group 80, 75, group 80, sold, 175, hand tone. You want milk her tonight? Yeah. $1.50. Two-year-old, $1.55. 55, yeah, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, 55, 65, 70, 70, 75, 75, 80, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85 here, 80, 5 here, 80, 5 here, 85 here, so 180, S11X. $50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and a 5, and a 70, and a 70, and a 5, and a 75, good to be 80, you give 85, 85 and 90, and 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, S, 90, 1X. Seven years, 5 months. 1,500. 15 and a half, 15 and a half here, half and a half here, 7 by 5, 15 and a half here, 16, half, 7 here, half, 19, half, 19, half, 19 and a half, and 19 and a half, and 2, and 2,000 here, good to be 2, and 2,000, 2,000, good to be 2, and 2,000 here, half, and 2,000, and 1, and 2,100, and 2,100 here, 21, pull her out, 2,100, and 2,100 here, 21, now 2, and 2,200, and 21, what about a half, 2,150, and 21 and a half here, half and a half here, and 2,150 and a half here, half here, going to be half. Solder 2,100. McGee. 125, 27 and a half, 27 and a half here, half and a 30, 32 and a half, 35, 35, 35, you give 5 here, 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a 40, and 40, 40, 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 5, and 47 and a half, 47 and a half, 50, and half, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, there, going to be 150 here, Booker, 147 and a half. You got 50? 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, and 60, and 55, going to be 65, and 65, 65, 65, 70, 75, now 75, 75 here, 75, 80, 85, 85 there, going to be 85, 85, and 90, 90, 95, 95, 95, 95, 95, and 95 there, 95, 95, 95, 90, 95 here, solder 90, Ricardo at 90. That might be the highest cow sold today.
I think you saw one higher.
I did.
Very high.
The one for a penny. The one for a penny. The one for a penny. All right. 35. 35, 35, 37, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, going to be 37, going to be 37, 50, now 40, and 42 and a half, 42 and a half, 45, 45, Jigga 45, and 45, 5, 25, and 43, 45, 45, 45, John, 43, 45, 43, 47, 45, 7, now 9, 149, 47, going to be 9, Todd, 9, Camus, 147. $1.50, 3-year-old, 155, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 25, 30, and 25, 35, and 35, 40, 40, 40, 45, and 45, 50, $1.50, 50, 50, 50. Spinners one time in tone, please. $1.50. 145, 50, 145, 50, and 45, 50, 50, 50, 50, so 145, Chris, 7X. Dollar, 105, and 105, 105, 19, 110, and 15, 21, 21, 25, and 25, 25, 25, drop ya, 125, 25 here, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, 25, going to be 25, going to be 25 here, Candace, 120.
Find your girlfriend when he's out and about this weekend.
I just drunk the drive.
That's how I felt.
35, 35, 35, 35, 37, 35, 37, 37, 37, 37, 37, 40, and 42 half, and 42 and a half, 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 5, 42 and a half, 45, 5, Chris, 142 and a half, 9X. She has a baby inside of her. She'd be worth a lot of money someday. Prager. Yeah, send him to shoot. 135, and 35, and 37, 50, and 37 to 40, and 40 down 2.5, 45, 45, 45, 45, jig 5, 7 to 47 to 50, and 51, 51, 52, 51, 2, 52, 3, 53, 53, 4, and 54, 53, 4, and 53, 54, 53, 53, 4, 53, 4 and a half, 53, 4, $4 here, Booker, 153, nothing. That might be Jackie Grass's cows. He's got that G brand. Bet that's who it is.
Oh, look at that.
50 cents a pound. 55, 4 and open. 55, 55, 55, 55, 60, now 70, 70, now 85, 85, 90, 95, 95, and $1, group 105, and 10, group 110, and 15, 115, 20, and 21, 21, 21, 21, 20, 15, 20, and 15, 20, 25, and 20, 30, and 35, 35, and 40, 40, and 40, and 35, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, 40, here's order 135, Chris, 4X. Eight-year-old, she's 8 months bred, 2,000, 20, 100, and 21, and 2,100, and 2,100, 8 by 8, 2,100, and 21, 21, 21, 21, hand, 21, hand, 21, 50, now 2, and 22, now half, now 3, and 23, 3, and 23, 50, and 23, and a half, now 4, and 24, 100, and 4 and a half, and 24, and a half, 4 and a half, going to be 24 and a half, going to be 24 and a half, you're out, Paul, 24, 50, and 24, 50, and 24, and a half, here, half here, half here, we have here solder 2,400 MW.
What the hell are those for? Those thugs.
Five and open, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 40, and 40, we get 2 and a half, 5, and 47 and a half, 50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50, we get 50 and a half, 53, going to be 2 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half, Chris, 150, 3X. $35, 35, 35, 37, 37, 40, we get 42 and a half, 45, 47 and a half, 47 and a 50, we get 52 and a half, 55, and 55, 57 and 56, 7, and 57, 56, 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 57, $8, and 57, 7, 7, 7, 7, we get 50, 57, going to be $8, 57, going to be 58 here, Booker, 157.
You got the 8 this minute ago.
2-year-old, $1.50. 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 55, 16, half 5, and 70, 75, 75, 80, group 185, group 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, 85, $5 here, 85 here, group 85 here, group 85 here, S, 180, 11X, nope, 21.
Did you have a good weekend? Cold and rainy. Not much going on.
125, 25, 27 and a half, and 7 to 5, we get 32 and a half, 35 here, 35, 37 to 37 to 40, we get 42 and a half, 41, 3, 41, 43, 5 here, 43, 5, 7, and 47, 9, 149, 50, $1.50, we get 49, we get 50, 45, we get 50, we get 50, we get 51, and 50, 51 here, 51, 51, 51, 51, 51, you give on here, $1 here, Chris, 150, 3X. $121, and 22 and a half, and 5, and 25, 27, 39, 32 and a half, 35, 35, 37, 37, 40, we get 42 and a half, 42, 50, and 5, and 45, 45, 45, 45, 45, 45 here, 7 and a half, and 47, 50, and 50, 50, 50, we get 50, we get 52 and a half, 52 and a half, 52 and a half here, half here, household, 150, Chris, 16.
You got any baby calves?
Yeah. Headhunter.
125, 125, and 27.50, and 27 and a half here, 30, and 30, 30, down 2 and a half, 32 and a half, 35, 35, 35, 37 and a half, 37 and a half, 37 and 50, and 30, 57 and a half, going to be 30, 57 and a half, going to be 37 and a half, given 135. Watch her when you load her, Rob. $120 and 22 and a half here. 120, 22 and a half. Gonna be 20, 22 and a half. Gonna be 20, 22 and a half. Gonna be 22 and a half here. 122 and a half here. Chris, 120 on number 13. What's in her ear tag?
That'll be receiving. Right? 1,300.
35, and 35, 37, 50, and 37, 40, and 40, even get 2 and a half, 42 and a half, 45, 45, 45, 47 and a half, 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 45, 47 and a half, 50, now 50, now 1, jiggy 1, 51, and 51, and 50, 51, here, Booker, 150. You whistling, Bob?
Pay close attention to the cow odd card. They're double tagging them. Okay. Sounds good. What do you got here? If they're not preg check. Really?
Says they're open.
Where does it say open? Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Open, yeah.
Well, the drive-in says they're open, guys, so if they're not, then... Okay, here we go. 2 of them lost their calves. Okay, we'll guarantee them open. If you guys want to preg check them, you can preg them, but we'll call them open as of right now. $1.50. 55, and 55, 60, and now 65, 70, 175, 75, 75, 80, good to be 80, 180, and 75, good to be 80, 85, 85, 90, good to 90, good to 90, 95, 95, 95, 95, and 2, and 2, double 2, and 95, and 2, 195, and 2, 195, and 2, 195, and 2, sold 195 S, 11X. Thank you, sir. Sold well.
Little heifer there, Johnny.
$100.
Yes.
150. Now 2, now half, now 3, now half, now 4, now half, 450, and 4 and a half, and 4 and a half, it'll get 4 and a half, it'll get 4 and a half, it'll be 4 and a half, now 5, and 500, and half 5, it'll get 5, it'll get 550, and 555, 55, 55, 55, it'll get 5 and a half, it'll get 5 and a half, it'll be 5 and a half, it'll be 550, now 600, 600, and Drew, you're out, 600, Andy, we're out, 600, now half, 6 and a half, 6 and a half, now 7, 700, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 700, going to be 700, going to be 7, Chandler, you're out, 700, Chandler, you're out, 700, and 7, and 700, going to be 700, going to be 700, going to be 7 here, going to be 700, and Andy's in, 650, now 7, 700, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 7, and 700, going to be 700, going to be 700, going to be 700, so 650, Andy LaFoe.
Start the next one at 100. That was kind of fun.
Right. Like that 25,000 yeah, so the other night started at like 300, 3,500, 2, 3, 5, 7, 10. I mean,
Good rascal there.
good one here, $100. 150. 150. Sell choice. Sell choice. 2.5. And 2.5. It'll get 3. And 3. It'll have 4. 4.5. It'll get 4.5. It'll get 5. And 500. And 555. 55. 600. And 600.5. And 6.5. 7. And 7. And 7.5. 7.5. 7. 800. 800. 800. 800. 800. Here's 7.5. 800. And 750. Now 8. 800. 800. 800. 800. Here's 750. Now 8. 800. Coys in. 750. 800. Everybody else is out. 800. 800. 800. 800. 800. Sold 750. Burns.
You want the little one?
Takes the big one. Sell the little guy. $100.
Yes.
2.
Yes.
Now half.
Yes.
Now 3.
Yes.
Now half. 3.5. 4. 4.5. 5. 550. 550. 600. 600, Andy Route. 600. 600. If 5.5, going to be 600. Chandler's in. 5.5, going to be 6.5. 6.5. Now you're out, Chandler. 650. It's 6.5 here. 5.5 here. Going to be 6.5. 7. And 7 here. 7. 7. 700. And 700. 7. Online guys route. 700. And 700. 700. Going to be 700. 700. Going to be 700. And now 700. 700. I sold her 650. Who you got, Coy? Buyer number. CB. Them boys pretty close in age. They 2 years apart. You just got the 2. You got some more running around. That's they get a big one. Really, 25-pounder. My, oh, they caught 25 catfish. Did you clean them and eat them? Yep. Not yet. Awesome. Awesome. That it? That's it, guys. All right. You guys have a good day. We'll see some of y'all back here tomorrow at 9 o'clock in the a.m. See you guys.
Hello.
I'm scared it's so loud.
Hi, Ricardo.
No, it's so loud, y'all. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn? So nervous. $2. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we've got this nice bred cow to the best Black Angus bull there is in the state of Oklahoma. I'm going to start her off with $1,200, give or take. 1,300. Oh, over there to the blondie, girl in blue hat. I'm going to get in trouble. Sold to Miss Skinny Minnie over there. Shakira. All right, get this cow out of my face.